Some fans out in full force, masks required. You saw going to the break, they have stormtroopers patrolling the mask usage tonight. That's a new feature at Bobby Dodd Stadium, and so is the turf. A lot to get to tonight. Friday night football, Austin Kent tees it up, and away we go. College football prime time on a Friday night, and Louisville will have it first from right around the 23-yard line. And we check in on the sideline. Eric Wood, our Pro Bowl center.
Thanks, Jason. I spoke to offensive coordinator Dwayne Ledford this week, and he said the off week was very valuable for the offensive line. They got back to basics. They worked on their fundamentals. Louisville has so many weapons on offense, and there's big plays to be made if the offensive line can do their job tonight.
Eric looks like he's dressed for the Oscars.
He got clean, didn't he? We saw him earlier. Little rain, had a garbage bag on. Clean now.
Yeah, he had the raincoat going, and now a big play on the first carry for Louisville and Javian Hawkins. So look, it took them a long while to get their first 10 plays out against Pitt. That's a 23-yard gainer.
Yeah, and it was to get the running game established early with Hawkins, and he's already off to a great start. Small but quick as a cat. He has home run speed, and they're trying to take advantage of it here early.
One more time, Javian Hawkins, who's got a touchdown in 5 straight. But you talked about Malik Cunningham, the redshirt junior, who spent most of 2 weeks ago prone on the ground because of tough offensive line work.
Yeah, he played. That Pitt defense was all over him. I mean, created havoc all night long for Malik Cunningham. And by game's end, he was just, you know, really spent. And hopefully, they're hoping that this offensive line just kind of takes it to remember that and play a little bit better tonight.
Got some loft on that ball, and it's incomplete. Ian Pfeiffer had nobody in the 404 around him, and he couldn't hold it in.
And that's what's been plaguing Malik Cunningham basically all season long, is that you got receivers open, you got to put the ball on them. In that Pitt game, some opportunities there, and plays like this happen where it's just a little bit overthrown. Otherwise, that turns into a foot race. That's a hard pass to complete, though, Jason. When you have a guy that wide open, you're just trying to touch it in there. Sometimes you put too much on it. Sometimes you don't put enough.
But why is that so hard? That's counterintuitive for people.
Well, you want to be perfect with a throw instead of just letting it be natural, and you're trying to put it in the exact perfect spot.
You go Hawkins here, 3rd and 2?
No doubt about it.
There he is, Javian Hawkins, broke one tackle and sliced it back inside. He gave up the first down, got it back again, and he moves the 6 twice. He played with fire, and he did move the markers.
Lots of shifts in movement up front. You're going to see a lot of guys in the box. Makes it tough to run the football, but all he needs is a crease. We talked about the speed and the quickness. He's got some strength to go with it because he's built so close centered, and he's just hard to get a shot on.
His co-offensive coordinator, Dwayne Ledford, talked about the patience of Javian Hawkins and how much of it he has as Cunningham puts his head down and runs right into David Curry, who is as prepared and as omnipresent on tape as anybody on that Georgia Tech defense.
Yeah, he reminds me of a teammate I played with in Detroit, Chris Spielman. A guy knows the plays that before the offense runs them, and it gives him a chance to be a step ahead of the offense or whoever's trying to block him. He is just an experienced player, plays every single play at a high level.
That's heady company, by the way, Chris Spielman. He was a darn good player. Hassan Hall is in for the first time. He gets his first carry and another gash to set up 3rd down and about 3 as Quez Jackson made the stop.
Yeah, he's a good complement to Hawkins, has good speed in his own right. These guys just come in, they keep both fresh, and they will send them downhill. They'll run the stretch out wide and create cutback lanes. It's a fun offense to watch, and it's all predicated on how well they're running the football.
Well, you got to believe, Andre, that Hassan Hall cares about this game more than just about any other game. He is from southeast to the city center in Maynard Jackson High School, not far from Midtown Atlanta.
And you come back to the crib, you want to show out?
Oh, yeah, you do. Hall is stacked up and dropped. Charlie Thomas got in there for Georgia Tech. Now 4th and medium. What are you doing here? Oh, he
I think he turned it over. I think
turned it over.
actually
Georgia Tech is on it.
Yeah, the hit created a fumble, Jason, and I think Georgia Tech comes up with it, and it's Quez Jackson who recovers the fumble.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by Georgia Tech.
So he was stood up, and take a look. Oh, yeah, that's way out.
Right into the hands of Quez Jackson, and that's when Andrew Thacker, the defensive coordinator, we got a chance to visit with him this week. He said, hey, we've got to win the turnover battle, and we've got to be the ones causing the turnovers and then recovering or intercepting when we get our hands on the football. And they are off to a good start in that department.
Here is Sims on the move, and Jeff Sims Jr., the freshman out of Jacksonville, shows his legs early, Andre.
A phenomenal athlete, looks the part at 6'3", 215 pounds, and just plays with just a fluid type of style. Makes it look easy.
Little high that time, Eric.
I texted Jeff Sims earlier before the game, and he talked about just taking what the defense gives him, and that's what he worked on during the off week. When I asked him if he was nervous at all, a true freshman playing under the lights on ESPN on a Friday night, he said only 9 months ago I was playing my games, all my games, on Friday nights in high school.
Well, he doesn't lack confidence, that's for sure. Jeff Sims. Low snap. On the roll, Sims down the field a little bit too much. Jalen Camp, the intended target.
Yeah, he is excellent in one-on-one situations. They'll try to formation the defense to get Camp in one-on-one situations where he can catch that 50-50 ball. Just a little bit long there.
One of the great characters of college football. Back to punt. Presley Harvin III. And they're going to fake it. And Georgia Tech has a first down. A fake punt with Harvin, and the Yellow Jackets move the sticks.
Well,
so
I think it's
Dylan
a game.
Leonard.
A game, Jason, in which Jeff Collins feels like it's a must-win at this point in the season when you are staring down Clemson next weekend. You really want to figure out how to win this one, so they're pulling out all the stops tonight.
Jeff Collins, a very aggressive head coach. This first down run gets to the outside, and it'll be second down. Amari and Brown, nice block there for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Don't know if I've seen, it's been a while since I've seen a true freshman start at quarterback, a true freshman start at running back, and a true freshman at one of the tackle positions in Jordan Williams. A lot of youth on this offense.
And a much bigger offensive line than last year. They have stressed extra poundage on that line as Howard got the run for the first down off the lead block from Leonard on the fake punt. And now Sims to throw over the middle, and he's got a first down. Amari and Brown doubling back inside the 15, and a first down, Georgia Tech.
Clocked at 23 miles an hour. I think he can move. Amari and Brown is almost backpedaling. He ran 10.4 in the 100 meters in high school, and that's a confidence builder for a young quarterback this early in the game to hit one of those.
That is the big play threat they've got. Late decision on the mesh, and that's going to go for negative yardage as Nick Okeke made the stop, second down.
Well, you're looking at Brown, who's just a sophomore, Sims and Gibbs, true freshmen. I mean, it's just littered with youth across the board for this Georgia Tech offense. But when you're down here, the message to your youngster is, hey, let's take care of the football. Don't throw into a tight window. We want to come away on this drive with some points.
Andre, they only had 6 seniors last year as Gibbs gets the run, and he's in. Touchdown.
Well, that is complimentary football right there. Defense gets you a turnover. You get to fourth down, you fake it, special teams contributes, and then you give the offense another shot in the arm and a chance to go down and get points, and they reward the head coach's decision to go for it on fourth down by sticking it in the end zone.
Question all night's going to be who's kicking for Georgia Tech. And this is Gavin Stewart, the freshman out of Savannah, puts it on through. So the fake punt leads to the touchdown for Gibbs, and the Jackets are up. We're talking to the defensive coordinator for Louisville, Brian Brown, during the week, and about Jahmyr Gibbs, he said that kid runs the ball hard, and he did on the opening drive for Georgia Tech. They pay off the fake punt on what would have been a 3-and-out, and the Yellow Jackets have the early lead. You see that sideline at the bottom of your screen. There is energy for weeks on the Georgia Tech sideline.
Jeff Collins, you think his programs aren't going to have energy? You kidding me?
You're not playing if you don't have energy. As Louisville will decide to return this, and it's a very good return to the outside and out of bounds at about the 43-yard line, as Kent's kickoff returned by Hall. But look, these two coaches know each other very well. It was a nondescript season 2010 at Florida International, but Jeff Collins was a defensive coordinator for Mario Cristobal. Scott Satterfield was the offensive coordinator. They shared offices across a hallway, and we talked to both about their relationship. They're very good friends. Satterfield said, but Jeff Collins was very intense on the practice field, like in scrimmages, yelling sack a lot. Jeff said that he has calmed down since then, which is still to be debated. First down run for Louisville. And we saw Hassan Hall. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, the two of them are very competitive. Jeff Collins telling us that when he played at Western Carolina, his last tackle, the last tackle of his college career, was on Scott Satterfield, who was a senior and playing quarterback.
And he remembers it vividly. He remembers the play that it was on. Malik Cunningham got a wide open man across the 50 and a first down and then some for Marshawn Ford, who's really a Swiss Army knife for them and kept showing up, and they just had to give him more playing time.
Yeah, former walk-on. He's got excellent hands. Started his career at wide receiver. Kind of plays that H-back type because of his size, but they'll move him around a lot. Really, he's a big part of the game plan tonight.
Hawkins, the tailback, and Hawkins is bottled up. Wes Jackson very active early on.
Andrew Thacker, Jason told us, the defensive coordinator for Georgia Tech, they wanted to build a wall and keep leverage, keep Hawkins inside where there was help coming from, and they were certainly able to do it in that situation. Zone running scheme, you try to get cutback lanes. So you got to stay on your feet if you're an interior defensive lineman, and set the edge if you're one of the end positions.
And they will rotate a lot of defensive linemen in and out. We expected an early jet sweep, and this is to Tutu Atwell. They're trying to get him as many touches as possible, but Georgia Tech's on it.
And did a great job of just stringing a speedy player out and not allowing him to get his pads pointed north and south, and he ends up out of bounds, maybe short of the line of scrimmage. But you talk about a playmaker. Tutu Atwell can play some football, my man. Just 5'9" and going about 165 pounds, but you don't want to see him in the open field if you're a defensive coordinator.
Under-recruited, but one of the most dynamic playmakers in the ACC. Third down for Cunningham. And it is incomplete, batted away by Caleb Oliver to set up fourth down.
Yeah, he plays their nickel position, sitting right in the middle of the coverage.
He almost had himself a pick. Those are the guys you love as a quarterback, right? Because you throw it right to them and they don't pull it in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was right in his hands.
Oliver is watching the replay, looking at himself like, how did I not pick that ball off? They're going to go ahead and kick. James Turner, and now instead of a 53-yard field goal attempt, it's going to be a delay of game. And we'll hear from Marcus Woods, our referee.
And that's going to force
offense, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
That's going to force the obvious, a punt. for Scott Satterfield's bunch, and now it turns into trying to down the ball inside the 10-yard line and winning the field position battle on this drive.
So Ryan Harwell's back to punt. The freshman, this is his first punt of the year. Logan Lupo was ineffective. They had some shenanigans early in the year with the punting game, so Harwell is on to boot it. And this checks up inside the 5. Yeah, it'll win you a job. So Louisville backed up. 7-0 Jackets. It's here in 2020, but when you get the tour, I was there 2017, Andre. You see the picture, and it doesn't really register, but now it's a totally different story.
And the irony in the picture from 1918 to the current time in which we live is just it's eerie. Seeing that picture, the mask, and now it's become an everyday part of our lives all over again.
But certainly Jeff Collins in this pandemic era, what he has done in order to take some positive out of the situation, he told us, look, I know my kids better than I ever would have otherwise, because on these Zoom calls we had before the season during the pandemic's height, I got to learn a lot of things about these guys that I just never would have known.
And he uses it against him a little bit in practice when he's on the other side on defense, and something that they told him in those Zoom calls.
Yeah, he'll talk a little smack as Griffin gets the run. That was a 3rd down run, Andre, and it'll be 4th down and very short. You're not going to fake it here, are you?
No, definitely not. But just kind of putting a bow on that. He is a guy that finds a way, Jeff Collins, to take advantage of every situation that he's in and get the most out of it. You know, a very well-read head coach that shared some of his knowledge with us in terms of the books that he's currently reading and has read to help build this Georgia Tech program going forward.
Harvin's punt returned to the 45-yard line. 4.5 to go. First quarter, 7-0 Georgia Tech.
It's going to be a heck of a football game.
They'll run it on 1st down. Hawkins. You think Miami's got a shot?
I legitimately think I do. I think they have a heck of a shot because of Derek King. And here's my question to you. Would you say right at this point in the season Trevor Lawrence is the front runner for the Heisman?
He better be.
If Derek King takes down Clemson, and his Miami teammates take down Clemson tomorrow, does that elevate him? Because he's a few yards in front of him in terms of passing yards for the season. He's only 1 touchdown pass behind him. But if you go face-to-face with a guy
and you beat him, I agree with you. I think you're right. I think you're right. This is to Justin Marshall. I was going to agree with you anyway because you sounded like you felt very strongly about it.
I think the kid has had one heck of a year at Miami and turning around that program. And I respect the hell out of him because of what he's done and what he went through at the University of Houston. So hats off to Derek King.
We'll talk to Allison Williams, our reporter for that game, coming up in the 2nd quarter and get some updated news on that big one tomorrow night. Malik Cunningham to throw on what they call a money down in Atlanta. Cunningham on the run. He's got the 1st down and then some inside the 30, and there are the wheels.
That's what you wait on with Malik Cunningham. And a lot of guys, it's a pass that gets you settled in to a football game. I've watched plenty of film on Malik Cunningham this week, and this is what gets him going right here. It's a nice run to kind of get his footing firmly entrenched in a ball game, and then the other stuff comes along with it.
Some colleges that were recruiting him wanted him to change positions, but he was adamant that he was a quarterback. As this is Javian Hawkins, and some nice agility for a 1st down and a tough run.
Yeah, Hawkins started this game, you know, with a couple of big runs, and it didn't take Scott Satterfield, their play caller, as well as the head coach, to go right back to his workhorse in Javian Hawkins. Nice run and keeping his feet moving. We mentioned the fact that he has runs with a low center of gravity, and and it's hard to get a shot on him.
Credit Renato Brown for a big block on that play. The redshirt freshman right tackle, who they think is graded out best of anybody in a couple different categories on their offensive line, as they will run the option. It is Tutu Atwell, and he's inside the 10.
Ask Dwayne Ledford yesterday, you know, does Tutu Atwell have a touch count? He said, yeah, as many times as we could get it to him. And they want to find different ways. They'll run him on jet sweeps. They'll do, you know, bring him as a pitch man on the option. They'll have little routes where they just get him the football in space, quick screens, any way to get the football in his hands, because he's so dynamic and he's that special of a player.
Georgia Tech fans were like, wait, people are running the option against us now? I thought we got rid of that. Second down and 1. Cunningham is undercut, side swipe by Quez Jackson, who's been all over the place, and he is going to be a little bit short.
Just shy of the yard to gain. And tell you what, Georgia Tech, you got to take your hat off to them. They have played some pretty good football, forcing a turnover that they were able to put points on the board on the very first drive of the game, and when it seemed like Louisville was going to have its way. 5 tackles already for Quez Jackson.
What do you think about play action here?
Like a little roll here.
Oh, Hawkins instead, and he's got a first down and goal for Louisville.
Now the roll with Cunningham. Show it to Hawkins and come out the backside with it.
Scott Satterfield is the play caller, his second season after a tremendous run at Appalachian State. He's got a number of his coaches from Boone on this staff with him at Louisville after an 8-win year last year and a bowl game victory. Cunningham,
Nice.
throwback on a touchdown. Marshawn Ford.
We talked about Marshawn Ford being a big part of this Louisville offensive game plan tonight. They didn't waste time getting the ball back to him. Nice play action fake. He's kind of the fullback or in the backfield along with Hawkins. All the attention goes to Hawkins, and Ford's able to sneak out the back door.
Extra point is good, and we'll be back in 10 seconds. Hey, we have a Louisville Cardinal down on the sideline. You were watching tape of these guys. They love that play down in the red zone, don't they?
They absolutely do. They think if they can get Tutu Atwell or Marshawn Ford out in play action, and especially moving across the formation like they did, that they cannot keep up with them. Louisville has shown that on tape the last 2 years under Coach Satterfield. It worked again tonight for 6 points that they desperately needed to get back into this game.
How's the weather down there?
It's rainy, and after that first fumble by Javian Hawkins, it's been a steady dose of rain this entire game so far. Ever since I did my opening hit, you guys got on me about my outfit. Now we're back in the rain gear again. So we're out of the suit, and
it's a great look. It's a great look. But
we weren't getting on you.
We saw the garbage bag.
We love the look.
Well, I appreciate
it. That was sharp, my man.
Keep that thing dry. We got to have it for the second half. Georgia Tech will take the ball at the 25-yard line. What did you think of the Yellow Jackets so far on offense after that rough game last couple weeks?
Obviously trying to protect Jeff Sims on that previous drive when they were backed up inside the 5-yard line. So they ran it 3 times, came up short, and tried to punt play defense here. They've got to get back to running the football effectively. Allow this big offensive line that put on an average of 18 pounds across the board to get some push, get the running game started again with Gibbs, because everything seemed to work from that early in the game.
Sims on a first down throw. He's got his tight ends back, and this is Leonard. He's across the 40-yard line, and Dylan Leonard, Sims loves having those tight ends back.
A nice call there, because you're making Louisville think run as we were, and then you come back with a pass to the flat to Dylan Leonard, and we're trying to get this tight end position going. A couple of injuries there, and is trying to light a fire under the rest of the depth chart to help out this offense.
7-all, Georgia Tech and Louisville. We'll talk to Allison Williams about the primetime game next. Football, just the 5th time in the college football playoff era. It's an ACC top 10 matchup. Miami and Clemson, number 1 versus number 7, as we open the 2nd quarter. And we're joined by Allison Williams, who's reporting during that telecast tomorrow night. Allison, talking to players and coaches, what are your headlines right now going into that game?
Hey there, Benetti. I would say the biggest headlines for Miami are just the opportunity that this team has kind of really solidify where they are at, not just within the ACC, but within the country and where they rank right now in college football. Yeah, they're the 7th ranked team, but where do they really fall? And this is an opportunity for them to prove that they can hang with the best of the best. Clemson has been the standard in the conference. They've been the standard in college football for so many years now. So I think it's a chance for Miami. I'm not going to go into is the U back, but I think it's a chance for Miami to prove that they are an elite football program again. And then the other big thing to me is to play the quarterbacks. I mean, you have 2 of the most electric players in all of college football, and Trevor Lawrence and De'Aaron King, and they're such special talents, but they're going against the best defenses that they've faced this year and will probably face this year in the regular season. Defenses that, create havoc and love to get in, force turnovers and, force havoc in the backfield. So I think the play of the 2 quarterbacks is where all the eyes will be, and rightfully so, but it's also a big opportunity for Miami to come out and make a statement about this team.
Allison, you took me right to the topic that I love talking about, and obviously the quarterbacks in that matchup with De'Aaron King and Trevor Lawrence. And we know how the Heisman is viewed from basically week to week. We love polls nowadays, but Trevor Lawrence, I would say, is the front runner for the Heisman based on the way he's played. If De'Aaron King were to go in and take down Clemson, would it indeed make him the front runner by beating the front runner?
It would be fascinating to see how it shifts the narrative and changes the conversation, because we all know that Heisman's are won and lost on the big stage. And this is the biggest stage De'Aaron King will have played on. It's the reason he came to Miami, games like this. So I think he has the opportunity to show voters across the country what he's capable of doing. And there's no denying that he's going to be the key for the Miami offense. If they are going to have success against Clemson, it's going to be because of De'Aaron King and what he can do with his legs, how he's able to create when things break down around him. Brent Venables knows that the defensive coordinator for Clemson, they are very much aware of what a difficult challenge he presents, because when he does get outside the pocket and is on the move, he's difficult to bring down. I mean, he's just built differently. They're going to have to get multiple guys to him. So absolutely, if Miami has success, it's going to be because of De'Aaron King, and I think that does shift the Heisman conversation. To me, though, Trevor Lawrence is so far in front of the field right now, especially without Justin Fields playing in the Big Ten. So I think Trevor may have enough of a lead going into this game that perhaps De'Aaron doesn't become the front runner, but I think he is in the forefront of the conversation if he has a big game on this big of a stage.
What's made the relationship between De'Aaron King and Miami somewhat, I guess you would say, the perfect fit to this point in the season? What has he done to basically fit what they do offensively and in the locker room?
A couple things, and I'm glad you mentioned the locker room, because I think that's where it starts. He brings maturity and poise at that position that Miami has not had in years, like a really, really long time, too long. He has a confidence about him that players feed off of and picked up on immediately. As soon as he came to Miami, guys were like, okay, this cat's different, and they'll tell you that. And it starts in the locker room. But I think the reason why you are seeing him have so much success in this system is Brett Lashley and what he's able to do and the tempo they play with. He fits so well. It's part of why he came to Miami, was because of the way Lashley has developed quarterbacks and the offenses he runs, and he knew that he would be a good fit with him. And I think they just have a good awareness of where their playmakers are. They know that maybe the guys on the wide out guys on the outside aren't exactly the strength of this offense, they have some dynamic playmakers at tight end and running back, and they utilize those guys so effectively. And they kept it simple. They don't do a lot. They make it look different, but they don't do a whole lot differently. So De'Aaron, you can just tell he's comfortable. You can tell the offensive line is so much more comfortable than De'Aaron, because you can only go as fast as those guys want to go or can go. So I think it's all kind of come together, and not only is it the skill set of De'Aaron King, which we know is special and we saw at Houston, but it's how he fits within Rhett Lashley's system, and how he has really taken control in a short amount of time, set a tone in the Miami locker room that I think that team just desperately needed at that position.
Allison, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you coming up on Saturday night, tomorrow night, and thank you for calling me Benetti. Andre never does that. Malik Cunningham on the run, and he's got a first down for Louisville. Thank you, Allison, one of the best in the business. Reporter-wise, announcer-wise, anything-wise. We look forward to her call along with Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit tomorrow night. You got your Heisman question in. I'm very happy for you. First down for the Louisville Cardinals and Cunningham. Hassan Hall slips down. The first look at maybe the turf and the rain creating an issue. Let's go back to last play.
Let's go back and take a look at that, because this is what makes Malik Cunningham special. He's got a free rusher coming and able to just slip right underneath him and then get the yardage necessary for the first down. But I mean, free and clear, coming free on him, and he doesn't flinch. I mean, right in stride as he's dropping back, plants that foot, gets north and south, knowing where he needed to get to keep this drive going.
Pretty decisive after 7 sacks in the game against Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago. Cunningham to throw, some loft on it down the sideline, and that's hauled in one more time by Marshawn Ford for a first down for Louisville.
We told us, little undersized as a tight end, plays H-back, and just does whatever he is asked to do, and is being rewarded tonight. Marshawn Ford the football is finding number 83. What a throw by Cunningham. Nice touch over the top, dropped it right in to Ford.
Ford was an outside linebacker in high school, Andre. You can hand the ball off to him. He's a very athletic guy.
I got a feeling Ford can play anywhere that you put him. He's just a football player.
Javian Hawkins, they string it out, and he's cut down behind the line of scrimmage by Caleb Oliver. So Louisville this year, when they run outside the tackles, has not been nearly as successful than on the interior.
And David Curry in there again, one of those single-digit guys. They really, that shows toughness. That is a sign of toughness when you see a guy in a single digit. He is the guy that basically led him right to Caleb Oliver, and he comes up and makes a nice tackle.
No gain on the play. Hawkins stays in. And will change the play. Cunningham will. To throw. Malik Cunningham wants the sideline again. Overthrown and incomplete. He wanted 2-2 Atwell, third down.
It's just a little bit long for Atwell, who ran right under it and just ran out of room along the sideline. That's one where, I mean, game of inches is what they call it. That was close.
How did that dude even get to that ball is what I'm wondering.
Some wheels. He can roll, my man.
He had 2 scores 2 years ago and a 66-point drubbing for Louisville against Georgia Tech. Cunningham again outside. Des Fitzpatrick inside the 10. Fitzpatrick trying to break down the door and can't do it. To the 2-yard line, first and goal.
Yeah, Keenan Johnson gambles and goes for the interception and is not able to reel it in. And so he's going to pay a hefty price on the tail end of this one. Fitzpatrick is able to catch it and then start the yards after the catch running with some toughness down inside the 5-yard line. And this is one of those drives that Louisville's been able to put together. They've been waiting most of the season for this offense to hit on all cylinders.
Hawkins stacked up and dropped by Antonius Clayton. Look, Keenan Johnson's playing because Trey Swilling is back, but he's on a pitch count after the foot injury. So Swilling played early. Johnson playing at that corner spot now, and we will see Swilling throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, he just tried to undercut the throw and got there a little bit too early, and you throw it up. Des Fitzpatrick is about as good as there is at climbing the ladder and making a play for you.
Cunningham. Incomplete, 3rd down and goal. Eric, we saw that tight end throwback last time in this situation. What do they have in their pocket, do you think, on 3rd and goal?
Well, that was a great job by Georgia Tech's defense, understanding what Louisville wanted to attack them with. So far today, Louisville has been great on 3rd down. We'll see how good they are in the tight red zone. Coming into the night, Louisville was 2nd last in the ACC in 3rd down conversions. In an ACC play, only 20%. Very low rate, but tonight they've been successful, and that's why they've been able to move the ball up and down the field.
They may come back with something similar.
They're going to run it. Hawkins stacked up and dropped, driven back by Antonius Clayton and Zamari Walton. 4th and goal. You kicking or aren't you?
I think Scott Satterfield's got to go ahead and take the points here. You had 3 downs inside the 5-yard line, and you're not able to get yourself in. They try to play bully ball there and run behind the right side of the offensive line to get some push. Georgia Tech again answering the bell on defense. They're going to leave him out there.
Yeah, they're going for this with Hawkins in the backfield. Malik Cunningham on the roll. He's going to run. Cunningham's in. Touchdown. Oh, gutsy from Satterfield.
Well, you start thinking about that kicking situation, and it answers the question real quick. And for a second, I froze. You got a kicker that's you don't really know about or a whole lot about. And you're just going to trust the quarterback, your junior quarterback, to get you into the end zone.
Hey, King had a chance at him.
Yeah, James Turner's been pretty good this year. But they just like the numbers, like the personnel, and capitalize.
They like everything about this. And to play, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Off a turnover, a fake punt on what would have been a 3-and-out. Howard runs it, and then Gibbs up the gut. So aggressive behavior from Jeff Collins, and Patno, the offensive coordinator, got him in as they trail by 7. The Yellow Jackets do, Andre.
Yeah, and really not a place where you want to be if you're Georgia Tech and you have so much youth on the offensive side of the football. And so you imagine they're going to turn this over to the offensive line, maybe try to reestablish the ground game, take some pressure off Jeff Sims, and where he doesn't feel like he's got to do too much to get his team back in this game. Still right there, just 1 score down.
Yeah, Jeff Sims, I mean, he mentioned this to Eric. 9-10 months ago, he was playing for the Sandalwood Saints on the east side of sprawling Jacksonville, and now he's got the hot lights of Friday night football in the ATL.
Different kind of Friday night here, though.
Yeah, it is. Sims will hand it off to Smith on a 1st down run. Dante Smith, the redshirt sophomore. How different is college football, Andre, for a quarterback than high school?
Totally different, because you're seeing guys, when you walk in the locker room as a true freshman, guys that are developed and have been in a program and on a, in a strength program where you haven't seen these types of athletes. Everybody was an all-district or an all-state player in the locker room. So there's no one that's standing out, or you're not going to stand out head and heels above anybody else on the team. Special players, obviously, like Jeff Sims, find their way to the playing field early, but it's not because that you're the best player coming in. You got a lot of guys that have been the best player.
They're going to go fast here, and this was a worry for Georgia Tech offensively. They didn't play fast well last week against Syracuse, but Jalen Camp has a 1st down.
I'll tell you this, I've been impressed by the way Jeff Sims is throwing the football, especially in wet conditions, wet and rainy conditions there. He has been on time tonight, and he's been accurate with the football.
Wanted to play football since he was about 5 years old. His uncle Mike Sims Walker, an NFL wide receiver in his own right, as there's a spin move from Camp on a first down catch. Second down coming up, but obviously the bloodlines are important for Jeff Sims, growing up in a house that was pretty football crazy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, even his dad, who he talks to before and after every game, he's showing some maturity tonight, though, scanning the field, getting to his second receiver in the progression.
Sims just chucks this ball incomplete, third down. He actually gets texts from his dad at halftime of games, which I know, Eric, you're used to in the NFL, right? Halftime texting.
Yeah, there was a no cell phone policy until I saw the ESPN story one time about Vince and Bianca Wilfork, and Bianca would send Vince text messages at halftime, and then occasionally towards the end of my career when I was playing against him still, I would joke with him when he'd come out a little more spirited out of the half and say, man, Bianca must have ripped you one at halftime, huh, bud?
And a flag comes in. I love that.
False start. Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Andre, penalties have been such an issue. They've avoided it, but that's a big spot for one.
It really is, because it backs you up, and you don't want any added pressure. Yeah, that's another true freshman in Jordan Williams. Talk about playing high school football a couple of months ago. There's another one along with Gibbs, who starts at running back that we mentioned. So now instead of it being third and short, you back a true freshman quarterback up, asking him to deliver on third and long.
They're 5 for 25 on 3rd and 7 or more this year, and this is incomplete. So another 3rd and long goes wanting for Georgia Tech, who will punt.
And they've been absolutely, pretty good on third downs most of the season at about 43% in their conversion rate. So I'm going to imagine that some of that has been taking care of it, getting to third, medium, third, and short. But when you have a penalty and you end up in third and long, you allow Louisville to kind of put some pressure on you, and it's to the defense's advantage, obviously.
Marvin, the auto enthusiast and college football sensation, to Rajay Burns. A fair catch inside the 15. Good one tonight in the ACC to start your college football weekend.
For a first down, first touchdown pass going to Marshawn Ford, and then getting one into the end zone himself on a fourth down play. This job by him so far in this ball game. 6 of 11, 89 yards, and then that touchdown pass to Ford.
When he went on his visit to Louisville, his host who put him up for the weekend was Lamar Jackson.
Imagine they had some fun.
Oh, yeah. Cunningham on first down to the sideline, and incomplete, a little bit high. The 2-2 Atwell.
I expect him to go back to the ground game to Hawkins here, or Hawkins or Hall, to get him back on schedule. You bring up 2nd and 10, you want to get about half of it to find or claw your way into third and medium where you can convert, especially when you're backed up down this far.
Hassan Hall dragged down, another tackle for loss. This is Curtis Ryans and a flag down.
They're just rolling in defensive linemen, and he goes about 6'5", 265 from that defensive line position, or defensive end spot.
North Cobb High, Kennesaw, Georgia.
Curtis Ryans was out the last 2 weeks, but in week 1, he was the Nagurski winner of the week. He had 4 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 tackles
Personal
for
foul,
loss.
face mask, defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Got Curry for a face mask and a first down for Louisville.
It looked like Ryans may have had some face mask as well, so somebody was going to get it called on him.
Curry's like, what did I do? Why are you talking about me?
Ball on the 28-yard line.
Just an instinctive player and really studies. He's the quarterback of this defense, that's for sure. Andrew Thacker described him as another coach on the field, getting guys lined up and in their proper spots.
Compared him very favorably preparation-wise to Luke Kuechly, former Panther linebacker. All on the run. We had an interesting conversation with the Louisville coaches about Cole Bentley, the center for the Cardinals, and left-handed versus right-handed snapper.
Yeah, it goes to show you how the game has changed, because, you know, a few years back you didn't see very many left-handed, if at all, left-handed snappers. You go under and the ball's got to come up a certain way, but when you go to the shotgun, now that opens up a spot for a left-handed guy and left-handed offensive lineman to move to center, because it doesn't affect how the ball is getting to the quarterback.
Second down run down the sideline. Hassan Hall got a first down and then some for Louisville. 31-yard run.
Came into the season as on the Horning watch list, has excellent speed and vision, and what a nice job they do along the right side of that offensive line.
Conduct, offense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, first down. That's number 56, first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
They got Renato Brown for unsportsmanlike conduct, the right tackle.
Well, you just can't have it. You can't have it after a run like that by Hall, moving the chains, and he is going to get an earful from Dwayne Ledford, the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach. They really like that young man, team's best offensive lineman, and with the more experience he gets, the better Renato Brown gets.
After this play, I want to hear what Eric thinks about that talking to over on the sideline that Renato Brown's getting for an unsportsmanlike penalty. First down, it is Hall again. Eric, what do you think the conversation is on the sideline with Ledford and Renato Brown?
I'm sure he's getting chewed out pretty good, but not like we would have back in Louisville when former head coach Bobby Petrino was there. I can guarantee you that. But in for the game now at right tackle. They pulled a short leash on him after that personal foul. They have no time for any of that. Cameron DeGeorge is in the game, a transfer from UConn, a guy they've rotated in a lot this year, kind of their 6th offensive lineman, but he plays in each game.
Second down, Hall. It'll be third down and long. Eric, you've never had a penalty like that under Bobby Petrino, did you? Never.
I certainly tried to limit them. And back to the left-handed center conversation, there's no way when I was in college I could have got away with it, to your point, Andre, because we did under center and a mix of shotgun. So there's no way I could have gotten away with the left-handed snaps. And you made a perfect point about in today's game, you could do it. The interesting thing comes when it's on the goal line, you can't then go under center.
Very interesting. Third down and 9. Cunningham tucks it. Malik Cunningham seeking the marker. He's got it. And a first down inside the 45.
Boy, just pure athletic ability on full display on that play by Malik Cunningham. And he is really starting to find his footing in this game. I mean, the pump fake just to freeze a defensive back long enough to continue his momentum and get to the first down marker. He's having some fun right now.
Especially after he hit his head on that last drive against Pittsburgh and had the head and neck issues. Good to see him healthy. Cunningham, sideline ball and incomplete. Ford was tangled up. Second down, Quez Jackson on the coverage.
Yeah, Ford is asking for a pass interference or a holding penalty on Quez Jackson, who's right in stride with him. Now, the last time they faced 2nd and 10, they depended or went right back to the running game, and it was Hassan Hall. Let's see if they follow true to form and go back to the running game to get themselves back into third medium.
26 runs in the first half for the Louisville Cardinals. This is a pitch, and it's going to go for maybe 2 yards, and a crash on the sideline to set up Braden Smith for third down and about 7.
Yeah, he's a kid that's really gotten the coach's attention as a sophomore. And they're trying to figure out ways to get him the football a little bit more. They like his playmaking ability. And there he ends up being the pitch man off the option play.
He came in the best yards per catch in the ACC, Smith did. And third down so much better today for Louisville.
And it's allowed him to obviously keep drives moving. 3rd and 7 is a whole lot better than 3rd and 10.
Cunningham on 3rd down. Little jump on that throw, and it's incomplete for Tutu Atwell. So 4th down and 7, a buck 45 in the first half, and it looks like it's punt time. Or maybe not.
Looks like Cunningham's still on the field. But I guarantee you in the offseason, he and Tutu Atwell throw a bunch of corner routes because they are trying their best to find Atwell. That's the 2nd overthrow. Remember, he caught one out of bounds earlier and was just out of bounds. They're trying to go to him on a corner route again.
See, I love this. The numbers, the analytics say go for it in this situation. 4th and 7 to the 40-yard line. Yeah, buck 45 left in the half. It sets up Georgia Tech, but 7 to snap it. And they will go. Louisville 1 for 1 on 4th down. This is a dump off for a first down. Across the 30-yard line, it is Tutu Atwell across the formation.
Guess who? Number 1, crossing. It's a tough cover for anybody. And they're trying to play man through the zone, and it funnels right to a linebacker who is Quiz Jackson. And you want that matchup if you're Scott Satterfield every single time. Tutu Atwell on a linebacker.
How do Power 5 coaches watch his tape and say, no, too small. I don't want that speed in my program?
I don't know, but he plays with that chip every week and makes them pay for not wanting it.
Cunningham down the middle and a diving grab. It's Tutu Atwell again. Touchdown, Louisville.
And that is his 16th touchdown in 16 games. Atwell is just going to release behind the tight end who clears it out and right into the middle of the field. Safety split. It leaves a void in the defense, and they find the soft spot right in the end zone.
He had barely any Power 5 offers, and it's like every coach in the country never watched Darren Sproles play football. Tutu Atwell, former high school quarterback, has had a marvelous night, and it's 21-7 Louisville. Bronco Mendenhall's Virginia Cavaliers, then Pitt and BC. Don't have ACC Network? Go get ACCN.com on your computer, and you have instant access. It's as easy as that. As Tutu Atwell has one of 5 plays of 20 or more yards for Louisville from 5 different players, and the Cardinals are up 21-7. The Yellow Jackets need a drive when we come back. Virtual locks. And in this current era, basically every lock is virtual because we do everything on Zoom. 21-7 Louisville on 3 straight touchdown drives. Georgia Tech maybe doesn't need a score, but would really like to have one as they'll screen it out for Gibbs. And Gibbs across the 40 with a first down and more. Got a block out front by Amarian Brown and down to the 35.
What a play. When you start the 2-minute drill, you're just looking basically, Jason, for a drive starter. A play that generates somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 10, maybe 12 yards to get you going. But never in a million years are you thinking the screen is going to break off that much.
Sims with some confidence slides it out to Camp and a first down Georgia Tech.
And you can see exactly how that screen pass has affected Jeff Sims. Confidence, as you mentioned, stepping in the throws. He's on time with the football, and Georgia Tech taking advantage of a cheap possession at the end of the first half.
On the run this time, got another completion inside the 10 to Malachi Carter, who led him in targets coming into tonight.
Well, the only problem with Jeff Sims had been turning the football over. 8 interceptions to just 3 touchdown passes, but this is where you earn the respect of your teammates right here, when you can lead them down the field in situations like this. generates confidence, momentum for the second half.
Well, I mean, look, what Jeff Sims said to Eric before the game shows his level of confidence. Are you ready for the lights? Absolutely, I am. I'm used to all this stuff. Even if he's not, he thinks he is, and he's 3 for 3 on the drive.
Right there. Yeah,
More
that
than
is
it,
half
right?
the battle. No doubt about it.
Well, Bobby Dodd, who the stadium's named after, one of his famous quotes is, "Think you're lucky and you will be."
That worked with my putting game?
No.
When I'm out on the green, I think I'm going to make this
guys are
putt,
not with you, and they haven't been for years. They'll reverse it. Into the end zone, touchdown. Camp from Brown. And trickery gets Georgia Tech back on the scoreboard.
Marion Brown to Jalen Camp in the back of the end zone by way of Jeff Sims. A little end around, and it's nice touch over the top where it's an easy catch for Jalen Camp. And Georgia Tech right back in this ball game.
But Louisville does have 43 seconds. And that drive took 49 seconds.
Yeah, with 3 timeouts to go along with it. So if I'm Scott Satterfield, I'm like, okay, Malik, rev the engine. We're getting ready to go fast.
How fast is the question? It is our quick delivery brought to you by DoorDash. Real quick.
I mean, a screen pass to get it started to Jahmyr Gibbs, who breaks this thing, almost breaks it wide open, and timed up well. A little end around, ends up in the hands of Jalen Camp for a touchdown. What a nice drive by Georgia Tech to draw within 7.
Crowd fired up. No tailgating still tonight at Bobby Dodd Stadium, but masks on, and the crowd is there, socially distanced at the oldest FBS football stadium. But Louisville scored on 3 straight drives, and they'll touch it one more time before the half ends. And they'll get it to 25.
An eternity, Jason, when you're looking at 43 seconds, 3 timeouts, playmakers all over the place, and Hawkins and Hall out of the backfield, Tutu Atwell, and the first one is going to tell us a lot about the drive, because remember we mentioned the fact drive starter. That's all you're looking for. A draw play, maybe to invite the pass rush up the field, a screen underneath, something to get it started.
I mean, for Louisville, you saw the number. They've had the ball 19 minutes plus. That is so unlike their first half at Pitt a couple of weeks ago. So there's a rhythm offensively to this team that we have not seen in weeks for the Louisville Cardinals, and Malik Cunningham on a first down.
There's the screen.
And it doesn't get much at all for Hawkins.
Well, what it did do was I think he might have gotten himself out of bounds where they can save the timeout. Now you're going to work.
Big game Saturday. You're going to work. What are you looking for on this play, Andre?
Maybe something close to the sideline. An out-breaking route. It looks like they're trying to play some zone, so you may get it here.
Quick touch once again for Hawkins.
Pass complete to Hawkins.
And they're kind of in the middle here, Andre. They're playing for some yardage, but again, you got 29 seconds now.
You don't necessarily have to get in the end zone here. You just want points. And if you can put a field goal up, that would go a long way. James Turner has been good. It felt like his range is around 51 and in. So anywhere around that, they feel comfortable going ahead kicking the field goal. They got a couple yards here left to get to.
Ball on the deck. Cunningham picks it up, and that may be the omen that Louisville's coaching staff needs to say, you know what, let's go to halftime. But
they may spend the timeout. I would spend the timeout and still try to get myself in a position to put some points up.
But Andre, low snap, wet ball. Eric, what do you think?
I was just going to say, when you have a weapon like Tutu Atwell on the outside, I would run him across the field in some type of crossing route. See how Georgia Tech is going to match up with him. As we talked to Andrew Thacker, Georgia Tech's defensive coordinator, he was talking about how when Tutu lines up in the slot, he thought his safeties could run with him. If I'm Scott Satterfield, I want to test that. And Scott Satterfield earlier in the year when I covered a Louisville game said, Tutu Atwell reminds him of T.Y. Hilton, who he coached at FIU, and even said Tutu as a junior was better as T.Y. Hilton was, the great Indianapolis Colts receiver was his junior year.
I can tell you how they're going to match up. It won't be man-to-man, I promise you that. It's going to be deep zone drops and keep everything in front of you. There is no way that Georgia Tech's going to put a safety on Tutu Atwell in this situation.
Cunningham dropped right around the line of scrimmage.
Deep zone drops. Yep, and keep everything in front of you. Don't let Fitzpatrick or Atwell get behind the defense or in a crease. All eyes are right now on those two players.
Andre, why does Louisville take a timeout here with 16 seconds? I mean, if this next play doesn't go anywhere, then you have to punt.
Man, you ever heard the old saying that there's never too many points scored in the first half of a ball game? I live by that. You score as much as you can in the first half because you might need it later on.
I don't know. You're playing with fire here with the football gods. You put a snap on the deck.
No, and you're showing confidence in your junior quarterback Malik Cunningham. So you're telling him, I trust you to go out and handle this situation. You're explaining to him right now, don't try to do too much and force it into coverage. If it's not there, tuck the ball, run. Let's get into the locker room. But if you can hit a big one or catch and run and still have time to get a field goal off, that's what you're after right now.
See how it plays out. 21-14 Louisville. One timeout left for the Cardinals, 2 for Georgia Tech. They're short of the 40. Cunningham bleeding some time, throwing across his body, incomplete. And if there's no marker, which there's not, Louisville has to punt.
I didn't like the play call,
man.
nor did I like rolling right and throwing back over the middle late. Nothing good happens over the middle of a football field late for a quarterback. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's by experience for you. I know that.
Yes, indeed. All that has to happen is one time, and you break that habit pretty quick.
Tanae got Ezzard back. Harwell on to punt. And again, Louisville's punting situation has been bad enough that they made a change this week. So Ezzard back to receive. He will have a chance here. 7 seconds left, and this one goes bounding toward the end zone, and that is going to do it. So all the discussion, all the strategy talk, and we just hit zeros at 21-14 in perfect harmony.
Well, Hartwell punting for the first time tonight, and he's down 2 inside the 5-yard line.
Beautifully done. Louisville might have found an answer punt-wise. 21-14. We send it to Laura Rutledge for the halftime report after these messages.
All single game long, and here tonight against Georgia Tech, he's been able to stand upright.
What do you think of Jeff Sims' first half?
Oh, I thought he had some tremendous confidence in that last drive that they were able to go down and score. Hit a couple of big passes, the screen to get the 2-minute drill started, and then showed some confidence in standing in there, delivering the ball on time, and finding receivers.
Sims, the freshman out of Jacksonville. Former Elite 11 quarterback, very highly thought of, and we have a marker coming in. Sims will heave it deep.
That's a vet move where you bark in the snap count out loud, and you get Louisville to jump over. And Jace, what I liked about it most was he didn't stop. After he got Boykin to jump, he went up top.
Well, that flag comes out. You quarterbacks think free play pretty quickly if you're paying attention.
Well, you're still ahead right here on 1st and 5, so essentially that's a free play.
Low snap, controlled it well, and a hard run from Jahmyr Gibbs, shoved out just before the line to gain of 4. Isaiah Hayes with the stop. His father Chris, a 9-year NFL player.
Played his college ball at Washington State before Green Bay, the Jets, and the Patriots. Flags everywhere.
Snap, false start, offense number 54, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
We've seen what that could do and what that did to Louisville when Brown had a false start. Now Jordan Williams, that's his, I want to say, 2nd penalty on him alone tonight. True freshman on a big stage. Got to settle in.
Another low snap, tough one to handle, and that play is blown up. Downstairs to Eric, who talked to both coaches.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Satterfield heading into the half, and he liked the play of Malik Cunningham bouncing back from his Pittsburgh performance. He was very disappointed in that last drive given up by the defense. Jeff Collins coming out of the half had a simple message for his team. Play with energy, let it loose, have some fun, and make plays.
Got a play to make here on 3rd down and 6 to the sideline, and incomplete to Jalen Camp.
Coach Collins not going to take a page out of Coach Satterfield's playbook and roll the dice on 4th and 6. Punt it away here, and you have his defense get themselves on the field, get a stop.
You wouldn't fake it twice in one game, would you?
Not on your own 29, 30-yard line. No way.
This goes bounding down the sideline. A tightrope act. Oh, my gosh. Harvin with some English on that puppy. Watch this thing.
It just starts right back in. Little right turn. Straighten out. Landed just like that, didn't he?
The old Bugs Bunny right turn at Albuquerque. Goodness gracious. Harvin, quite the character. Presley Harvin III. And now Malik Cunningham touched it for the first time for Louisville. They had touchdowns on 3 of their last 4 drives in the first half. Javian Hawkins straight up the middle on a 1st down run. They do rely on the run, Andre, quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really what this offense is based on. If they're running the football effectively, everything else off the run, the play action, all of it, bootlegs come with it, and that's when they can really keep a defense on its heels. They've been able to do that at times, or did it at times in the first half of this ball game.
Scott Satterfield had Darrington Evans at Appalachian State, who became a star in Boone, and Javian Hawkins obviously very talented with Hall as Cunningham steps through and turns it into a 1st down. That was a beauty.
Gotta have him tonight.
I feel bad for Jimmy Buckets. He's playing alone sometimes. Cunningham under duress, and he whips it out of bounds. There is a flag down, and we'll check the marker. Antonius Clayton was bearing down on him as he whipped it out of bounds. There was nobody in the area.
Yeah, he's pleading his case that he had a guy there, but he wasn't out. I'm not sure he was outside the tackle box.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 11. Intended of grounding, offense. Those fouls offset. 2nd down.
Clayton hit him in the head, it looked like.
I think that was the case. I don't know if it was that big a hit, but it looked as though Cunningham had escaped him, right, to get the ball off.
Yeah, he just sort of got clipped. His argument that there was somebody in the area would have been a good one had coaches been legal receivers. So those will offset and will redo the down, and a whistle is coming. The officials have to talk this over.
Correction. First down.
Let's see. There's a question about what down it is.
Yeah, he just run for the first down.
So that's the correction of the correction. It basically took the winding road of Malik Cunningham's name. He was Malik, then he was McHale, then he was Malik. It was first down, then it was third down, and now it's first down again. Curry showing pressure. Cunningham throws it over him, and Tutu Atwell's across the 40 on a first down catch.
Well, you just hold your breath when he gets the football in the open field with space like that, quick. I think if he's able to handle it, it was a little high where he couldn't really get himself going fast enough. He had to make sure he made the catch. And that gave Georgia Tech's defenders a chance to come up. But
it was Trace Swilling who made the tackle, Andre, and he is such an important guy who's come back from injury, a foot problem that he had, an all ACC player that they get back at a big time for this team as Hawkins is just short. It'll be third down at about 2.
They've loved the option in situations like this because giving Cunningham another place to go with the football, either keep it or option it off. But they've had some success with Hawkins coming right downhill too.
What's your call here, third and 2?
They go the option.
Cunningham play action. They bear down on him. Got him high, and down he goes. Cunningham sacked by Antonius Clayton.
That's surprising. The way, the clip at which they've been running the football in this ball game. And I got to believe he just hands it to Hawkins. The play fake. They got deep zone drops. He'd have gone right by Clayton in that situation and probably picked up the first down.
And that sack came a little too easy with Clayton rushing on Marshawn Ford. Big pet peeve from a former O-lineman when you leave a really good pass rusher, a transfer from Florida, one-on-one like that with a tight end.
I know you're frustrated about that, Eric Wood, down on the sideline. Beat the tight end. Clayton got him, and a punt by Harwell down inside the 35. Georgia Tech gets ESPN. We welcome you back to ESPN College Football, presented by Ram Trucks. 21-14, Louisville with the lead over Georgia Tech. First meeting ever between these two schools at this site at Bobby Dodd Stadium. And Jeff Sims to throw on first down. It's the screen, and it's tipped. That screen went for big yardage on their scoring drive at the end of the first half. That one incomplete for Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, he executed it perfectly to Gibbs before the half, and it really got his footing where he started to connect with receivers down the field and wound up in the hands of Jalen Camp for a touchdown. They need to move the football and for him to continue to play at a high level.
Down the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted. Dorian Etheridge, the leader in tackles for loss in the country, got his hands on it.
Yeah, Etheridge is the bell cow of this defense. Just lives behind the line of scrimmage, but excellent read there to kind of stop himself and locate the quarterback as well as the football.
Third down, Georgia Tech needs energy.
This is where you don't want a young quarterback. They can bring pressure. They're showing it. And here it comes.
Sims over the middle, got a first down for Sanders. Monica Sanders inside the 35, and Eric, your guy down on the sideline, your former teammate Tashard Choice, the big energy guy. Gotta love that.
Oh yeah, Tashard Choice is the hype man. He was the hype man when I played with him with the Bills. Was a great running back in the NFL for a long time. Back on staff at Georgia Tech as the running back coach, and he's doing a great job for them. Doing a great job at coaching up Jahmyr Gibbs, their freshman running back as well.
Well, it's got to be a benefit to a young player. Coach comes in and he's got the reputation of Tashard Choice.
Play is under review. Call. This is a crown of the helmet targeting call. There was an indicator of targeting that thrust the move forward with the head, as we'll show it to you again. It is basically chapter and verse targeting here for character. Watch the crown of the helmet and watch the thrust, Andre.
Yeah, I mean, he's basically leading with it, and it makes contact, and it's the right call, no doubt about it. And that's a big, big loss for Louisville. Their secondary character, big physical corner.
Sims weaving through traffic inside the 5. First and goal, Georgia Tech.
That's the playmaking ability of the true freshman, Jeff Sims. And you see, that's why he's in the lineup. Plays like that, he can make you miss and has delivered the football on time tonight. That's the thing that stands out in my mind watching him play tonight, is that he's getting the ball out on time.
Griffin on the run. He is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Monty Montgomery, the redshirt junior out of Norcross, Georgia. Second and goal. A lot of Georgia kids on this roster.
Well, you got a lot of bodies being very aggressive at the line of scrimmage. Quick play action, try to block it up, and maybe get a one-on-one route on the outside. There are a lot of bodies around the line of scrimmage. Something quick.
It's Griffin, and he's inside the 5, hit by Russ Yeast. Third and goal. They're going to go fast.
Great push from the right side of that offensive line. With Jordan Williams hanging out on that side.
Quickly at the line. Sanders in motion. They run it up the middle and in. Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown has the Jackets within a point.
Credit Jeff Collins and his bunch, because they didn't give up. I mean, they are right back in this thing. Down 21-7 at one point. The Yellow Jackets go down before halftime, put one in with 43 seconds left in the first half, and then they come right back on their opening drive to start the second half and put it in the end zone.
And that is no good. They got in there and got a hand on it. So Jared Goldwire, another blocked boot for Georgia Tech. And this time it's Stewart who has it blocked.
I don't know if I want a chest bump with Jared Goldwire. One of the coaches just tried to do it, and he ended up on his wallet. That's a big young man, 6'6", 305 pounds, playing nose tackle. This run there, great body lean by Griffin to get himself in. You'll see Goldwire come right over the middle and get a big paw on it.
That's a big dude with some hops, Andre Ware.
Great athletic ability from a guy that big, 6'6", 305.
Georgia Tech has had a major problem with block kicks this year, and it continues. So Louisville by a point, 7:52 in the third. Big game for both of these teams. Louisville's at Notre Dame next week. Georgia Tech against Clemson. And Louisville will have it across the 25. Ball's on the deck. Georgia Tech says they have it. Hall put it on the turf, and we'll see. Georgia Tech waiting to point. It is Yellow Jacket football.
See Hall.
First down.
He is on top of a Yellow Jacket, and when the ball is stripped, and so it's definitely going to be Georgia Tech's football. He is laying on on a player. The arm doesn't touch down, neither nor does a knee.
Recovered by Georgia Tech. The previous players under further review.
Demetrius Knight, it looked like, was the one who reached in and saw that there was a body underneath Hall. And that's a great play by Georgia Tech.
A heck of a job. And second fumble of the night. A forced turnover by the Yellow Jackets.
Jordan Swilling makes the play, and that will do it for that for Louisville. The family keeps making plays for Georgia Tech. This is Bruce Jordan Swilling making the fumble happen from down underneath Hassan Hall. And clearly, as you said, it was the body that Hall was laying on, so that clearly is a fumble, Andre.
He makes a tackle and strips it.
Oh, and that could have gone for big yardage for Gibbs. He barely got tripped up.
Sets up this offense in some pretty good field position. And you all of a sudden, a time of possession that was dominated by Louisville is starting to really even itself out here in the second half. Georgia Tech with the ball again in point-blank range.
It's not going anywhere for the freshman on adult Georgia Gibbs. So third down and medium for Georgia Tech and Jeff Collins.
And they are set for play action. I mean, show it in there, hard to Gibbs, and spit it out to one of these receivers on a slant.
And with the issues they've had kicking field goals, this is likely 4-down territory for the Yellow Jackets.
Great point, Eric. The blocked extra point among other blocks this year. Sims on the run. Great call up the middle. Sims is in. Touchdown.
What a play call. You knew they were going to be aggressive. And all he's looking for on a quarterback draw is just a crease. And once he hits the crease, there's so many bodies in pass rush with their ears pinned back that there's nobody behind the initial line of scrimmage. And I tell you what, he's going to be some player. True freshman at 6'3", 215 pounds.
This is not your typical chase of points early in a game. Georgia Tech has really scuffled in the kicking game, so they might be safer and better off going for two here. Sims with an empty backfield, and it's incomplete. So it's a 5-point game. 2 touchdowns in 78 seconds. Here's the last one.
And just a quarterback draw. You see all the bodies around the line of scrimmage. Once he clears, it's over. Because he's got speed, he's got power. He runs right through an arm tackle on his way to the end zone. Okeke misses him, and Sims makes him pay. What did Jeff Collins tell us? That he's got a vision? It's a 30-for-30 story about himself and Jeff Sims over Mercedes-Benz Stadium holding a national championship trophy.
He sees it. It was 30 years ago. Obviously not going to happen this year, but in the future, that's what they're building toward. 30 years ago, Georgia Tech won itself a national championship with a couple of Swillings on that roster. And the whole goal for Jeff Collins, who is a born and raised Georgia native, born in Conyers, raised in Decatur, is to make this a powerhouse once again. Louisville will have it at the 25-yard line. We told you off the top of the show about the quarterbacks having uneven seasons. It's sort of been here and there for both of them tonight as well.
And taking care of the football. That's been the problem with these two young men. Tonight, they've been able to do that, and you're starting to see exactly why their head coaches think so highly of them.
It's first and 10, Louisville, ball on the 25.
Now Malik Cunningham's turn with the football. He turns to give it to Javian Hawkins, who held onto the ball and slithers to the 30 on a first down run. Ryans again on the stop.
This is kind of how they started the game, Jason, with that 10-play script. maybe they need to go back and revisit the script and pick it up from there, because that's when they were having success, and then they put the ball on the turf.
You're right. They just have not seen the ball very much in this half. I mean, 32 runs in the game, but only a handful this half. 2-2 Atwell on the jet sweep to the outside, and he's yanked out of bounds by Zamari Walton. Nicely done by the redshirt sophomore corner.
And an excellent job of keeping leverage, not allowing Tutu Atwell to turn the corner. They've done that on a couple of occasions tonight where they're trying to get him the ball on the jet sweep, get outside the leverage or outside of the end man on the line of scrimmage so he can turn up, and they're just not allowing it. Walton there, ooh, got away with a little face mask at the end of that one.
Cunningham down the middle, got a strike and a first down across midfield to the tight end, Marshawn Ford.
Yeah, that we mentioned it, the feature in the game plan for this one. He can do everything. Good blocker when they need it. Excellent route runner, and comes up big here on third down to move the chains for the Cardinals.
Marshawn Ford just got a scholarship last year, but he has been a major part of this offense tonight. They will run with Hawkins. He is a tough runner. It takes more than one tackler normally.
I like how he hits the hole. He is about top speed when he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he can put his foot in the ground, change directions whenever needed. This is starting to favor that script, Eric. I mean, it's starting to look a lot like the first 10 plays of this ball game.
It is, and after the opening kickoff, I made mention that Dwayne Ledford put a lot of pressure on his offensive line, and on that last third down, there was great pass protection. They opened up a great hole on 1st and 10 on the run by Hawkins.
Loads of time that time for Cunningham, and Justin Marshall as a first down for Louisville. As you said it, Eric, the offensive line held up beautifully there.
And Renato Brown's back in the game at right tackle after sitting for a while on a penalty. He is back in for Cameron DeGeorge at right tackle. They're able to run the football, pass protections holding up a little bit better.
Marshall is down. Marshall is injured, and they're working on that left leg. So Justin Marshall, the redshirt junior out of Conyers in the state of Georgia, who grew up a big Devontae Parker fan and then follows at Louisville, is down and hurt.
Well, you just hate when you lose a starter or one goes out of the game, even for a brief period of time, when you need to have a drive to retake the lead. And he's backed up by Jordan Watkins, a true freshman who they really like. Sure, if it looks as though they're trying to work out a cramp.
Yeah.
That's exactly
so
because they're trying to hydrate him as well, Jason.
Yeah, they went in rushing for the water bottle. And he's going to get up and find his way to the sideline.
Not a super hot night here in Atlanta. We were catching remnants of the hurricane earlier. It was windy, it was rainy. Now the weather is clear. But you mentioned earlier how much time of possession Louisville's had on offense, especially in the first half. Guys can wear down, and that's possibly why you see the cramp issue for Marshall there.
So he'll come off, Eric, and Louisville's got a first down. You see time of possession, the gap closing a little bit out of halftime. Javian Hawkins one more time. Boy, he hits the hole like a freight train and a first down.
Yes, sir, he does. A great vision while he's hitting it to go along with the speed and the change of direction. I mean, the head is up where he can see. Nice block by Ford. and he's able to cut inside, then get right back outside. The block by Marshawn Ford. He's doing a little bit of everything tonight for this Louisville offense.
Hawkins trying to rummage for a couple yards. How about Caleb Chandler on that play too, creating that hole along with Ford.
Has tons of experience. He started every game a year ago at left guard. Back in there getting nice push tonight.
Redshirt junior, another Georgia kid for Louisville. They have 30 players from the state of Georgia. A big recruiting situation for Louisville as Dwayne Ledford, who bounced around in the NFL for quite a while, played with some great quarterbacks in his time in the NFL.
That's why a game like this is so important. You're going to a house trying to recruit a kid. And it comes down to another fumble.
Hawkins put it on the deck again. And let's see, what do the officials say? Was his progress stopped? They're talking it over. The officials are going to discuss this. If it is a fumble recovery, it's by Chico Bennett. Let's see. Was forward progress stopped and blown down?
The runner was down. First down.
They're saying Hawkins was down and no fumble.
Well, it started moving. Ew, that's close. And every play, remember, every play is looked at.
And they will blow it dead. Cunningham,
I think it's a fumble. Cunningham wanted the football because I think he knew.
Cunningham, if he could have just run up and taken it out of Cole Bentley's hand, he was gonna. Watch again.
That's the. You know, Eric, that's what we were talking about earlier.
Timeout, Georgia Tech. 30-second timeout.
In terms of going under center. Sometimes you can get it off quickly. I think it's knees down. I think it's the right call looking at that angle in slow-mo. It looks like the right knee is indeed down, and then the ball comes out.
The question is, was the ball moving?
Louisville's getting surprising.
Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, Louisville's getting surprising. They're very surprised by the ball security issues, especially from Javian Hawkins tonight. This is a guy who, as a freshman last year, an all-ACC running back, lost 0 fumbles the entire 2019 season. That would have been his second one just tonight.
Over 1,500 yards last year as a freshman.
Now, remember, too, if this were to have gone to review, Georgia Tech used a timeout. The ruling on the field is what you would have to overturn, so you'd need indisputable video evidence. There's nothing there indisputable at all to overturn. Javian Hawkins trying to slice, and he goes down.
And he knew he was good. He was in the end zone. He was in the end zone. The cut, maybe a slick field, took the footing of Hawkins, but I mean, there was a hole. He would have gone in untouched. Great job up front by Caleb Chandler, and he's trying to make that cut to get right in the crease. Otherwise, he doesn't slip. It's 6 points.
That'll drive you nuts tonight if you're Javian Hawkins. Cunningham on second down, flares it out wide, and a flag comes in as Atwell lost the ball on the way into the end zone. Atwell says touchdown. Let's see what the officials have to say about it. He reached for the pylon.
Back for a hold on the outside by one of these receivers. I'm not sure if it's Fitzpatrick or who to this side. The near side here.
Now there's also a chance if he lost the ball and it went through the end zone, that would be a touchback. So let's see what the call is.
Offense number 7. 10-yard penalty, second down.
If he was down prior to the goal line, they'll take it back. Atwell might have been right. If it stood, it might have been a touchdown. Instead, it'll be second and goal from a long way away.
And again, Louisville went back to one of those play action passes with someone coming across the formation in the tight red zone. They tried to get there. Unfortunately, got a holding call for them. This is a great opportunity for Georgia Tech's defense with a Louisville touchdown because of the kicking issues. They'd be taking the lead, but this would be a great hold for Georgia Tech's defense if they can hold them to 3 points here.
They're going to review this, Eric. Let's see. Georgia Tech might think that there was a fumble on the play, as we talked about initially. It looked like Atwell had the ball as he crossed the pylon, as the penalty goes against Fitzpatrick. Watch again. Watch the ball, and when he loses possession, he sort of just displays it out to the pylon.
All it's got to do is touch. It hits the line and then comes out. So I think the ruling they made is definitely going to stand.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
The other one looked like it touched.
See,
and that's why, unless it's a third. And that's why, unless it's a third down and must situation, you never reach the ball out like that, especially one-handed, because the penalty for it is just too detriment. This is going to be potentially Georgia Tech ball at their own 20-yard line.
I just think it's too close to overturn it.
Andre, I thought that until the shot we had 2 looks ago from the back of the end zone forward. And it looked to me like you could make that argument that that was definitive proof. As we zoom it in off this look and see exactly where he is, it's tough to tell. And you're right, it may not be indisputable video evidence, but it is really close.
Yeah, and close, but no cigar. This is the right here. I thought for sure that he'd stretched it, because you could see the laces touching the white portion of the goal line.
Also, was he out of bounds on that last step? That would save the day for Louisville as well.
I didn't think he was out of bounds initially looking. This is a better view to give you the out of bounds portion. So then it's how far is the ball over when it comes free, or is it touching when it comes free?
Oh,
a
that's
lot
really
of speculation
tough
there.
I'll say this, there's 11,000 fans allowed in the building tonight. I think all of that is taken account for tonight. It's been a loud atmosphere in here, and with this being the second call that's gone to review on this drive, if it doesn't go in Georgia Tech's favor, this place is going to erupt. There's a lot of people grumbling in the stands as we speak, as they're reviewing this play.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
Stands not confirmed, so Jeff Collins will send his defense back out for 2nd and goal. The holding penalty does move them back, and so a big stand here for the Yellow Jacket defense on the horizon, possibly.
Just too close to make that determination.
Tutu Atwell knew it all the way.
Tutu Atwell, his face told a different story. He was concerned. I think he was concerned the minute it came out of his hand.
So it's 2nd and goal, and with the penalty, it moves him back quite a ways. The 13. Cunningham looking to run, and now he throws it out of bounds to save a couple of yards, and a flag comes in again.
Wow.
Holding, offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
The center, Bentley and Andre, suddenly this drive is going the very wrong direction.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect that from Bentley, who's the leader of the offensive line. Excellent in the running game. Another guy, he started his career as a tight end and just kept growing, grew all the way to center. Now he's getting concerned about just field goal range.
Second and goal, Cunningham up the gut again. He cuts it outside and gets swatted down at the 18 by Wesley Walker.
Can't take too many more shots like that. Get yourself down, protect, live to fight another down.
And yeah, field goals aren't currency in the current state of football, but because of the missed extra point, the failed two-point conversion, Louisville is just 2 field goals away from the lead here. And movement at the line. Markers coming in. We're making up for ground of the penalties we didn't have in the first half.
We got a freebie there. Got the end of that side to jump. Adonis Boone.
Offside, defense, number 42. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I like the play by Mikey Minahan, the Georgia Tech center. He gave his quarterback a free play in that situation. Cole Bentley there, if he could snap it, and I'm not sure if Malik was ready, but if he could snap it in that situation, then you get a free play out on the right side. Corey Reed, number 86, is split out wide, 6'3", their tallest receiver. This may be a situation where you try a jump ball to him.
Let's see, 3rd and goal just outside the 10. It's going to be Cunningham on the run, and he is in. Touchdown!
How about the blocks by the edge receivers? It's quarterback draw all the way, and you got to have some players on the outside that are not selfish. They're going to hold up, blocking from the word go, and helping to escort their quarterback into the end zone.
Roscoe Johnson, the outside receiver, sealed that for Louisville. And now, with the missed extra point, the failed two-point conversion, people are going to be going for 2 for quite a while tonight. Georgia Tech still trying to figure out its defense. The play clock has reset again. Cunningham stomping his feet. And here we go. Nothing there. Jalen King, the pressure, but Louisville retakes the lead.
A nice job dipping inside and then back out. And all of a sudden you find yourself on the 3rd level of the defense. And Roscoe Johnson with a block so far of the night for Louisville. Well,
and the Cardinals take the lead again. Yeah, 3rd forever. They end up punching it in. And maybe, just maybe, coming up this week on Sunday NFL Countdown, we will see one of the catches from tonight's game as Randy Moss ranks the best from college football at 10 a.m. Eastern. Plus an inside look at the post-game jersey exchange and how it's evolving this year. Sunday NFL Countdown, 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN. And then a doubleheader of Monday Night Football. The Broncos, the Patriots at 5 Eastern Time. Chargers and Saints, 8 Eastern Time. Monday on ESPN. We were talking to Dwayne Ledford, the offensive coordinator for Louisville, during the week, and we mentioned that he's played with a lot of very good quarterbacks. He started his NFL career with Steve Young and Jerry Rice, and one of the things that he said about one of the quarterbacks that he played with, Drew Brees, who you'll see on Monday Night Football, is that Drew Brees never treated anything outside the intensity of a game. He walked on the practice field and he treated it very much like a game. So after the 3rd lead change of our night, Georgia Tech will get it back from across the 20-yard line to about the 23 on the return from Dante Smith. Tell you what, Andre, we're in store for what seems like it's going to be a real good finish tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And felt like this would be a close ball game. It's been back and forth here in the last couple of possessions, and now up Obviously, the true freshman, about 50% tonight, 155. He's got a touchdown run to his credit. Lead his team, and I think he's done a heck of a job so far.
On first down, play action. Sims will run, and he saw the defender coming up, Isaiah Hayes. He sort of lurched to a stop.
Well, he's just so athletic and so smooth, and the good ones, you can always tell when they look like they're barely moving, barely running with little effort. Makes it look so easy, and yet he's just grinding out chunks of yards.
1-point game, Louisville, Georgia Tech, Friday night in the ACC has been a...
Jeff Sims is up and off to a good start on this drive.
There is Sims roaming free again to the 40 and a first down for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, they've decided to allow him to carry the football, and it's because he's hit on a couple of passes. So now you've got to respect his ability to throw the football and drop into coverage. That's creating some pretty big running lanes for the freshman quarterback.
Late mesh again. This is Gibbs around the edge, and the freshman's got a first down inside Louisville territory.
C.J. Avery, one of the captains of this team's able to finally rally over to get to Jahmyr Gibbs, but now the freshmen, both Sims and Gibbs, taking over here in the fourth quarter.
Jahmyr Gibbs at Dalton High School in Georgia once had 8 touchdowns in 3 quarters of a high school football game. He's had a big night tonight.
Over 2,500 yards rushing and 40 touchdowns as a senior. How about that for production?
Yeah, those will draw your eyes if you're scouting, that's for sure. Sims waited a while for the screen, and then it evaporated, incomplete.
They're trying to get Gibbs the football on that screen play as you described. It was so big right before halftime when they connected. Got to go back to that well again, and all of a sudden a big paw was poked out there in the form of Abdullah to knock it away.
The Sims, who actually ran the single wing in Pop Warner, harkening back to the old Georgia Tech days of Paul Johnson. Another late mesh, and Gibbs is wrapped up and drilled by Goldwire, 3rd and long.
Goldwire is some athlete. Tacoma, Washington, Kentwood High School. The big fella in the middle of that defense. We called his name earlier when he blocked the extra point. All 6'6", 305 pounds of him. And now starting to really cut loose in the middle of this Louisville defense.
All you got to do is look at the scoreboard and see how big that blocked extra point was. Third and 11 for Sims. Scanning Sims, incomplete.
Well, I think the route, even if he caught the football, he ran the route so short, it was not going to be enough for the first down anyway. But you've got to hit that one to give yourself and your coach a chance to make a decision on, do we go for it on 4th down? Certainly not going to do that on 4th and 11.
Dylan Leonard, the intended target there. It's going to be 4th and 11. Rajay Burns, one of the very few linebackers who doubles as a punt returner. Harvin, one of the few punters who doubles as a linebacker. And they're going to go ahead and take the day of game and give him some more room.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
If I'm ever coaching, you'll know that I'll always decline those.
You will.
Because you're just looking for extra room. And so I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to make you uncomfortable while it's in your head.
That's psychological warfare by Andre Ware, by the way.
Any advantage you can get.
Yeah, right? Harvin sends it for Burns, and a fair catch at the 27-26. Your score 2 days ago was the anniversary of Georgia Tech's 222-0 win over Cumberland with John Heisman at the helm. This will not be the same type of blowout. We can guarantee you that with 12 minutes and change to go in Atlanta. It's been a great game tonight, Andre.
Yeah, buckle up, because we got a lot of great football left to be played. So it starts right here from Malik Cunningham. If I'm on the sideline as a coaching staff talking among ourselves, hey, we need to go down, put some points on the board, and force Sims to basically make a mistake trying to get his team back in it.
Look at the patience from Javian Hawkins. And that's what Dwayne Ledford said about him at Satterfield as well. The patience is absolutely one of his top qualities.
Yeah, he's good in pass protection as well, and does just about everything, you know, that's asked of a running back. Pretty good. Look at that stat line for tonight. 21 rushes, 121, and averaging just under 6 yards a carry.
Rain coming down harder in Atlanta. And a 1-point lead for Louisville.
Nice
one
play.
more time, this one swarmed under. Caleb Oliver took him down.
Boy, the safeties filling the alley so quick that they are not allowing Louisville to stretch. They want to run the stretch, but they're not allowing them outside the tackles and just basically leveraging everything towards the sideline. It played the outside run beautifully tonight.
Atwell in motion with the snap. Cunningham to the sideline, got a first down, and then some. Marshawn Ford has been awesome, Andre.
He told us he's versatile. He does everything that they ask him to do, and he's got great hands, and he has been as good as advertised. Big part of tonight's game plan with number 83, Marshawn Ford.
6 targets, 5 catches, that one for 23 yards as the track starts to get messier in Atlanta with the rain coming down. Javian Hawkins to the outside, ball loose again. And it's Georgia Tech football. The weather has gotten ugly, and the Yellow Jackets pay it off.
What was that conversation we were having during the break, Eric? You told us about Louisville.
By Georgia Tech, first down.
Yeah, Louisville has lost the turnover battle in every game this season. They were able to beat Western Kentucky, but the turnover margin was a big reason why they lose to Miami and to Pittsburgh as well. Right now in this game, they are losing the turnover margin 0-3. Teams that are -3 in turnover margins do not win major college football games like this.
And that's 3 fumbles. Cunningham came in. He tossed 3 picks in their last game against Pittsburgh. Tonight, it's been the opposite way of turning the ball over. It's been on the ground.
That was Jordan Dominic making the whole play happen. A young man who wanted so badly to be an outside linebacker, became a defensive end, and attacked the football that time.
Well, you got the slot receiver right now off the ball in this coverage.
Sims down the middle, got a strike. Inside the 35. Off the spin, Malachi Carter. Inside the 15, there's a marker down.
Hold your breath.
It's a 41-yarder if it stands.
Georgia Tech. If you're a Georgia Tech fan, you're holding your breath because
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 29. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the play. First down.
You can go ahead and exhale now. There's going to be more yardage tacked on to this catch by Malachi Carter. A nice read. It comes open. They bring some pressure through the A-gaps over the guard and the center. And then it's just, what do you do after you catch it? Oh, definitely a late hit.
Debarius Peterson with the flag. First and goal for Georgia Tech.
But down here earlier, they spread them out and ran quarterback draw.
Timeout, Georgia Tech. Only one remaining for the Yellow Jackets. 10.5 to go. Big plays galore in Midtown Atlanta tonight. So 10.5. First and goal for Georgia Tech, and for Jeff Collins, after something of a listless performance last time out at Syracuse, they ran into a buzzsaw in UCF the week before. Andre, it looks like the spirit is there for sure from his offense.
He talks about the pillars of his program being energy, effort, and competition, and we've seen all of it tonight. There's been great energy. You've seen the sideline. They've been involved when Georgia Tech got back in it. The effort, causing fumbles, and then recovering them. Not just getting the ball out, but getting on them. And then they're competing their tails off tonight. And this should set up for a fantastic finish.
Second timeout.
Griffin, the tailback, Camp in motion. They will run straight ahead and not get much of anything.
Just can't get the push, and the running game has been effective with Gibbs when you're in a spread set. Don't bring everybody to the party just because you get close down here. Go ahead and keep them spread out, make them respect it, and then you get better blocking angles for the offensive line. There you go.
And they bring Gibbs back in. He goes to split out wide. They'll run it with Sims. To the outside, Sims is dragged back. Goldwire got involved again, and it's third down and goal.
Well, he is having problems all night with low snaps. They have been low as throws the timing off of play. Just that split second where he could have been up the field, around the corner and up the field. You're waiting on a snap that is holding you in a little bit longer than you want to.
And this is a center, Mikey Minahan. He was in a triple option 2 years ago, had to learn how to do these shotgun snaps, and he struggled with them tonight. I think part of it is because of this rain.
You don't want to leave it up to the kicker for sure. They've had problems.
Quick throw by Sims, and everybody crashes down on that with a flag coming in the secondary. Malachi Carter had the catch in the gridlock, and will check the flag. Will it be fourth down or will it not?
And do you go for it if you're Jeff Collins?
It's like maybe a block below the waist.
You do here if you're Scott Satterfield. Bringing up fourth down, and they didn't move.
I think you got to take it, Andre.
Yeah, it's for discussion with the staff because, you know, all of a sudden you're giving them another down.
Illegal block below the waist. Offense number 70. 15-yard penalty. Third down.
The big one called.
It's on the Tennessee transfer, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, he helps out Jordan Williams, a youngster, on right next to him at right tackle. He throws, and they're able to see it.
So Satterfield does take the penalty and move him back. 9 flat to go, and again, Georgia Tech's kicking game has been a disaster. Sims, the freshman. Sims had to hustle it, and he's got it to Gibbs. He hurdles in. Oh, man, Gibbs, touchdown.
I mean, you talk about a true freshman staring down the barrel of a blitz and standing in till the last second to fire this ball to Gibbs, a playmaker. That is some courage, and that's growing up in a hurry. Didn't see that against Syracuse in their last game, but he has matured and grown up in a matter of a week.
He beats C.J. Avery. Now Sims wanted the pop pass, and he has it sent back to him. Looked like Gorgie Jang in the middle of the Louisville defense. Got a hand on it. They get 19. Back to this play.
Boy, nice job of staring the blitz right in the face. And it's coming from Okeke, and he knows he's going to take a shot, holding it that long, but it's accurately thrown, giving Gibbs a chance to get in the end zone. And what's he do? It was right over the top into the end zone. That is just a well-executed play.
As a quarterback, you see that coming, right? It's in your field of vision.
You know you're going to take a shot. You know you're going to take it. So you stand in there, firm, and deliver, and brace yourself.
Watkins on the return. Bad decision. At the 15-yard line, that's all for Louisville. Gary Howard, who had the fake punt run earlier, gets the tackle there, Andre.
Yeah, Coach Collins talks about playing with juice, playing with energy. Well, right now, you feel the energy on the Georgia Tech sideline. There's almost some concern right now if you're Louisville. Plenty of time left.
Malik Cunningham, who some schools wanted to change positions. He's held his own in a big way at quarterback, and they will run on first down, and it's not much there. Domenica with the stop, and Hawkins gets in the face of Trey Swilling, who just happened to be back on the field.
Yeah, they've got tremendous depth at Georgia Tech. When they roll players, especially on the front seven, you don't really feel it a whole lot. There's no drop because they prepare them, the backups, as if they're starters. They get starters minutes if they know if they work hard, they know they're going to be rewarded.
Playing for reps in practice as Cunningham is low and incomplete. That's as tense of a throw as we've seen tonight from Malik Cunningham, Andre, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. I mean, now all of a sudden you're starting to get extra bodies around the line of scrimmage, and with 3rd and 9, this is a situation where I would always tell myself in the huddle, 3rd down and 9, knowing the situation, you're going to get some pressure and be ready for it. So the ball, you got to get back, get set, find the matchup.
Incomplete pass is under further review.
Find the matchup, pre-snap read, and then deliver the football on time.
We'll see if it's 3rd and 9 or if it's 3rd and short when we come back.
May go quarterback draw here based on the front. He's been able to get loose, and especially against this look, should be there.
Cunningham has to scramble. Flag comes in for a hold. Cunningham turns it upfield, and he spins toward the marker, and he's out of bounds just short, but this one's coming back anyway. Now, if you're Georgia Tech, Andre.
Offense, number 56. Half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
I guess you take it so it's not 4th and 1.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to, and you run the risk of Louisville converting, but you see just a handful of jersey there by Renato Brown. He's had some good moments in this one and some that he'd like to forget about. Going to be a good player, though. Just a redshirt freshman. Was originally committed to Miami before switching to Louisville, and they love his footwork. Athletic for a guy his size at 6'4", 330.
What do you think about taking the penalty here, Andre? I mean, it's either 4th down and 1 or it's 3rd down a long ways.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good about your defense, and that's the conversation, if you're Jeff Collins, that you're having with Andrew Thacker. It's like, you know, do we take it and force them back to 3rd and 17 and keep everything in front of them and force the punt? They just got to make sure they wrap up when the ball is delivered here. 4th and 1's, you know, there's no guarantee that Satterfield will punt the football away.
They will run. Hawkins.
Oh, boy.
Javian Hawkins, my goodness. Down the sideline and a 1st down for Louisville.
And that's the risk you run right there when I just made mention of make sure that you're tackling well. Because Hawkins can give you headaches. About 2 or 3 Georgia Tech players missed tackles, and he's going to pick up the first down and keep this drive going. A must that you tackle in that situation.
I mean, he wants nothing more than to be able to come back from the fumbles tonight, as Cunningham wants to heave it downfield. Instead, he squeezes outside with Brooks chasing after him, and it's second down.
Yeah, he's going to have an opportunity to scramble up the middle. He's been forced out wide, and I think that's why Brown got the penalty. He wasn't expecting Cunningham to be outside of him, so he had to reach and grab.
On that last play, number 6, David Curry, he was spying Cunningham in the middle of the field, and as Malik looked to step up in the middle, he took off after him and made him scramble out to his right.
That's kind of been his go-to all night, is scrambling left and right.
Hawkins again. He's got a couple of yards. Third down and 6 coming up for Louisville. 6 and change to go.
Kind of where you want to be with a junior quarterback in these types of situations where it's third and medium, move the chains, and an opportunity to score and go ahead and not leave very much time on the clock for Jeff Sims. But first things first, right here.
Wild game. Both teams have lost out on accepting third down penalties. Georgia Tech drove after one of those. Louisville trying to do the same. Third down for Cunningham. Off the pump fake, down the edge, incomplete for Fitzpatrick. And it's fourth down coming up. Derek Allen on the coverage.
I got to believe that they thought they were going to get the underneath route. And that smash concept, it's basically a corner route with a 6-yard sit down. If it's man-to-man, both guys keep moving. And they didn't get the coverage that they thought.
Two coaches on the sideline, friends, former co-workers, former co-coordinators, one on offense, one on defense. 5:49 to go as Harwell will punt it. Ezzard back to receive, and a flag comes down on the snap. This is touchdown at the 27-yard line. We'll check the marker before we say farewell. Marcus Woods will have a call for us.
Illegal formation, kicking team, more than 4 men in the backfield. 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the play. First down, Georgia Tech.
So Georgia Tech will take the ball and take the yards after the punt. Jeff Sims, the freshman, on his way back out. ACC tomorrow, Virginia Tech and North Carolina. Dayside, nightside, Miami and Clemson. But they're going to have to work to be as entertaining as this one tonight. Jeff Sims, the freshman for Georgia Tech, trying to key an offensive drive that gets him to the win column. And goodness gracious, Gibbs absolutely rams for a first down.
And we talked to Andrew Thacker, and he kept talking about or using the phrase winning football. Gibbs on that carry was playing some winning football. He was not going to be denied, and this is where you run your 4-minute offense. And what's that entail? Well, it's moving the football, converting first downs, and picking up first downs, and then chewing on the clock. And you'd love it to end with a touchdown, but you'll take the time to move it down the field where you don't leave Louisville anything to get back in the game.
They go Gibbs again, and he is lassoed by Peterson. So second down, and the play calls will be interesting for Patino, the offensive coordinator, down the stretch here.
How about this offensive line this late in the game, really turning it over to them when you're asking the running game to, hey, let's go to work. Let's lean on them a little bit. That 18 pounds, the average of 18 pounds that you put on in the offseason since January. Let's lean on this defensive line and see if we can't close this baby out.
There's Dave Patno, the offensive coordinator who started his coaching career at the Coast Guard. He's been a lot of places. On a 2nd down and 10, they will run it again. Dante Smith bounces it outside, and a massive run down the sideline for the Jackets.
Well, they aren't afraid to hand the football off, and he's about 3 deep down the depth chart, but comes right in, ball security first, and is able to bounce it. And we talked about it earlier, tackling. Louisville not tackling Dante Smith, and that allows him to get outside to pick up the 1st down. Clock now still continuing to run.
Louisville may not have the choice of how many timeouts it grants to Cunningham. How many would you want if you're a quarterback? How many would you need?
You want them all, but you know, you're going to have to start taking them here in a minute.
Smith torn down by Goldwire again. You start doing it now?
I think you have some time right here. You see what happens on 2nd down, and you might take one after 2nd down, especially if you're able to rally, maybe get a tackle for a loss, or at least back to the line of scrimmage.
Eric mentioned it during the break. Ball security so important on a rainy track tonight in Atlanta. Sims on the roll. He throws, and he's got it inside the 10. Malachi Carter! Touchdown! You think that freshman's got confidence, Andre?
Yes, he does. And we were just talking during the break about how, you know, the way he looks is just so composed. He's just out there having fun. Like, the moment's not too big for Jeff Sims. And this is a message to the team that we believe in Jeff Sims, because young quarterback, most coaches are going to run the football and depend on the defense if you have to punt it away. But they let Jeff Sims, the true freshman, put it in the air to Malachi Carter. Just work in the middle of the field against zone coverage. The safety gets too far off the hash. It opens up an even bigger hole for Carter to get into. How about this young man? Right on the money with the football.
His 5th completion of 30 or more in this season for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities. All-State will make a contribution to the university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State.
You got to believe, Jason, if you're Louisville, you still have plenty of time. It's just going to take a quick score. So you're not going to be able to run your way into scoring. You're going to have to put it on the shoulder of Malik Cunningham and this receiving group.
2:52, 4 and 3 timeouts. Malachi Carter, who's originally from Suffern, New York, lived in Wilmington, North Carolina, then made his home in Gwinnett County, Georgia, and Lawrenceville, not far away. He's got a big touchdown and another big yards after the catch grab, as Louisville will have it at the 25-yard line. Georgia Tech, 5 possessions this half, 4 touchdowns. Their offenses look totally different, Andre.
Yeah, they have. And you took the words right out of my mouth. You talk about production, 4 touchdowns in their last 5 possessions. We were talking about them losing the time of possession battle. And it was a significant difference. But when you're scoring at the clip in which they are, you don't need the football a long time. And we thought it would be just the opposite, that Louisville had the playmakers and the ability to score quickly. And it hadn't been that way. It hasn't worked itself out with 2:52 left here in the 4th.
Cunningham on 1st down, has a face full of pressure, and down he goes. First one in was Antonius Clayton, and he was finished off by Dominic.
If it's man coverage, let me find the best matchup that I like based on film review and things of that sort. If it's zone, who's my best route runner? Who knows the feel of getting open in zone? So you don't have to hold the ball that long. You've got to give yourself a chance to get the ball out.
4-man rush almost got there this time, and it's tipped and incomplete. More pressure from Jordan Dominic, who's full of effort and disruption, they say, and Cunningham down to a 3rd and 19.
Yeah, and in normal circumstances, I'd say, hey, you're going to get blitzed here, but 3rd and 19, Georgia Tech will play zone and keep the ball in front of them. And then they can't allow Hawkins to get outside and up the sideline here.
2 plays to get 19 yards. They will drop off a screen, and it's Hawkins, and he is stood up by Jahmyr Gibbs, who's been a very strong tackler in the defensive backfield.
Play in zone, let's keep it in front of us, and then rally to the football. And they effectively were able to do it there. Now with under 2 minutes left to go, gotta go for it here. Just trying to get it to a manageable situation on 4th down. And it's still a long way.
Fourth down and 15 for Cunningham. Clayton, the Florida transfer, may have just ended the ball game.
Well, he has played some game, hasn't he? Oh, he has played some ball game. Andrew Thacker, Jason, told us that he was expected when he came in to give him about 15 plays or so a game, and he is up somewhere around 45 in their last game against Syracuse. Not sure of that number tonight, but I bet you it's hunting in that neighborhood of 45.
For Jeff Collins, we talked about the intensity and the type of guy he is and the way he tries to build a program with both branding and leadership. He may have an important win tonight with a fully stocked schedule, and that was nearly a touchdown. Dante Smith taken down at the 17.
That's a heck of a tackle, because he bounced one before and picked up a 1st down, and he was getting ready to do it again. All of a sudden, he's
who made
down.
The tackle.
Yeah.
Even down 2 scores on the road, with 3 timeouts left, I expected Scott Satterfield to try and use those timeouts there, make them try and kick a field goal. You know the issues they have. Maybe you get a block. You never know what happens there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eric. This is a little bit strange, but the offense is bogged down. Scott Satterfield built a dynamic program at Appalachian State, had a great year last year. Louisville is by no means done for the season, dropping to 1-3. But this Georgia Tech run game, Andre, has been massive. And now looks like they are going to use a timeout with 28 seconds to go.
Timeout.
Well, you're talking about
30-second timeout. Please set the game clock for 33 seconds, please. 33 seconds.
Getting pushed, and all the work that they did this offseason, guys like Zach Quinney, who, was light in the pants. He's eating egg white omelets at the Waffle House when he first met
33 seconds
with Coach Collins. And he said his girlfriend was sitting there eating the All-Star Special. He says this is backwards. So in their manual, they've eliminated egg white omelets. No offensive or defensive linemen allowed to eat egg white omelets.
Yeah, they have a whole policy manual for their program, and one of the lines in there, you got to have a good attorney, by the way, you go line by line. No egg white omelets for any lineman.
But that 18 pounds on the average across the line of scrimmage up front, or across the offensive line for Georgia Tech, really starting to pay off late in this ball game.
Run it one more time, and one more for the road for Dante Smith and Georgia Tech.
Watch the big fellas work up front. Ryan Johnson, Jordan Williams. This opened up a nice crease along the right side of the offensive line. They pull around Zach Quinney as well. And it's just pay dirt for Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith goes to the house The sequel, 46-27, Georgia Tech. 192 on the ground, 4 touchdowns. Hey, tomorrow night, 2 wonderful quarterbacks, D'Eriq King and Trevor Lawrence, the ACC. Clemson's won the last 2, 96-3. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, ABC, and the ESPN app. All right, Andre and Eric, I want reasons that Miami can beat Clemson. Andre first.
Well, I think it's, the kicker that's been brought in from FIU, as well as D'Eriq King, who is playing some pretty good football right now. And if they can avoid turnovers and move the football with some consistency, they've got a shot.
Eric?
Yeah, Miami has loads of talent, especially across that defensive line. If they can pressure Trevor Lawrence and stop Etienne, from what we're hearing, could be some weather tomorrow night. Can that defensive line slow down Travis Etienne and then Trevor Lawrence as well with his legs? That's going to be a big question mark.
7:30 Eastern time on ABC. We hope you can join us for that. Alabama, Ole Miss tomorrow night as well. Some great games in the noon Eastern time window, including Virginia Tech and North Carolina. But Georgia Tech is extremely lively still on that sideline, and they are coming after the return. Hey, ESPN News right now, top-ranked boxing in Vegas. Emmanuel Navarrete vacated his junior featherweight title in July to step up in weight and fight for the vacant WBO featherweight belt. He'll take on 18-0 Ruben Villa, who started his national boxing career at age 13. He won a title very early in his career. 12-round main event on ESPN News right now. We got it in, and so Joe Tessitore will not send me an angry text message. 46-27, Georgia Tech over Louisville. And Cunningham will throw it to the outside and get a little bit of space for Maurice Berkeley on his first touch from scrimmage today.
Yeah, and if you're just checking in, this was a close game until about, the 5-6 minute mark. Louisville was very much in this ball game. And then the last couple of possessions, Georgia Tech has really opened up.
Two teams that are growing, certainly, with talented young quarterbacks. And this will be the final play of Georgia Tech's second win this season. 2-2 the Yellow Jackets on a 46-27 massive comeback tonight. Andre, final thoughts?
Well, I thought both guys played well, but you get to crunch time, and Jeff Sims just really showed up. Both he and Jahmyr Gibbs, no doubt about it.
46-27 your final score. For Andre Ware, Eric Wood, Jason Benetti saying farewell for our entire crew. Top-ranked boxing, Navarrete, Villa, now.